What's up guys, I'm Sean. Next mod on my E92 M3 will be an interior mod. My E92 M3 is a 2011, so the steering wheel is starting to show some wear. The previous owner said that the shops that cleaned it use Armor All, which is definitely a no-no for interior. So the leather is kind of faded here, back here as well, kind of all around. The steering wheel is in good shape, but just the surface looks a little worn, so it's more of a cosmetic thing. So today I'm going to be installing a steering wheel cover just to make it look a little bit better and make the steering wheel a little bit thicker. And this is what I'm going with. Steering wheel cover made by a company called Mewant. I'll put a link in the description. I bought this from Amazon. It was about 50 bucks shipped. So they have different variations for different cars, different designs, different material. Leather, suede, microfiber, alcantara. I went with the fake leather and the fake carbon fiber. And the kit comes with some thread, needle, little pick tool, as well as instructions. And they have a YouTube channel and there's plenty of DIYs. But I'm going to take a stab at this and see how it goes. Before I start, I'm going to clean the steering wheel with Chemical Guy's leather cleaner. So it's going to go something like this, with the letter F towards you and the letter B for backside. So I kind of line it up, make sure the cutout is going to go like that, like that. So I have it with the fake carbon on top, down here, and some nice grippy faux leather on the sides. So you don't have to remove the steering wheel or the airbag or anything like that. I'm going to make it simple. But what I am going to do is use a Torx T20 bit and just loosen the bolt back here, and back here, just so I can tuck this in a little bit easier. I just loosened the bolt just so there's more play, more room, so we can tuck in the leather. You don't have to remove it. There's more room to tuck in the leather. Now I'm going to reposition the cover. Again, the F is on the front side. The kit came with some double-sided tape. It's an optional step, but I'm going to use some. And you don't have to do it across the whole steering wheel, just a few spots that you like. All right, I put double-sided tape right there and behind it, right here and behind it, right here and behind it. And then now I'm going to remove the backing for the tape and stick it on and then tuck this stuff in. Make sure everything is lined up. And I'm going to smooth it all out. And it comes with a pick tool. And you have to be careful when you tuck it in to not to damage the outside of this. Remember how we loosened it? Put a little bit extra tape on these little flaps so then I could tuck it behind before I start to stitch it up. Now I'm going to get my needle and thread, start sewing down here and work my way up to the right. Sew down here, work my way up to the left. I ran the thread through the needle and then I just tied the knot. So we have about 3 times as long as we need for this section right here. And there's different sewing techniques. I'm going to go with the one I learned over the years. So to tackle the corners, we're going to actually sew through the actual cover first a few times before we start to sew on the outside using this thread out here. So we're going to stick it through the cover first and run it a few times. You have to get a little bit creative. So I went through the cover a few times, because if you just use a thread on the outside, it's not strong enough and it's probably going to rip. So in the corner section, I went through the actual cover just so it will be a little bit stronger. And now I'm going to start to go through the blue and red thread. I'm just threading it back and forth like lacing up shoelaces. And I'm using both hands to hold it so the thread doesn't get loose. Now I'm approaching this section. So same thing, peel off the tape on both sides, this side and the back side, and try to stick it on and tuck it behind this cover and then stitch it on. This bottom section is done. For the corners, you want to go through the cover, not just use a thread, so it'll be tighter. Same thing, went through. Looks pretty good. So now I have to do this side, same thing, before I finish the top. Alright, this bottom side down here is done as well. Same process. Now I have to do the same process for the rest of it. Alright, I ran into an issue. See how this is all tight? And this one fits perfectly. It's tight down here. Now the problem is, if I slide it back here and try to sew it in the back, there's like almost like a ½ inch gap right here. So it's gonna be a lot of slack. So my best option, I think, is to pull this tight and sew it. Pull this tight and sew it. Now you might see a little bit of the plastic right there, but it's going to be minimal. Otherwise, if I try to sew it like this, it's going to be an air gap right there. I put a little extra double-sided tape all around just so it can stick a little bit better to ensure that the cover doesn't spin when I'm on the track. Alright guys, that's a wrap. Steering wheel cover installed. It took a few hours to get done. It was a lot of work, pretty tedious, but overall not too bad. It's not perfect, but I'm happy with it. It's a lot better than before. Before, it's all faded and worn. Now this looks a lot cleaner. And the fake carbon fiber matches my carbon fiber factory dash and door panels here. That's why I went with this carbon look to match the carbon that came with the car. For the corners, I had to do a little bit more stitching all around on the back side, and I had to use a little bit more tape. So the back side is not pretty, but no one's really going to see the back side. So it doesn't really matter on the back. If you're a perfectionist, then you probably want to pay to get it done or send out your steering wheel to get it done. Just went for a test drive. The steering wheel cover feels good. It's a little bit thicker than stock and it doesn't slide around or anything. It's grippy on the sides, but it's also grippy up here as well. And I think with some heat in the sun and after some mileage, it'll break in a little bit and probably contour a little bit better to the steering wheel. But overall, I'm happy with it for 50 bucks. If you want to do a better job, you're probably better off taking off the steering wheel, taking off the airbag, taking off the steering wheel so you can get to both sides easily. I wanted to do it pretty simple as possible. So overall, I'm happy with it. It looks pretty good to me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.